Hi, welcome to this channel. I just really wanted to share something that really bothers me, about my country, and I'm gonna be explaining how an actual far-right authoritarian country looks like, because I live in Central Asia. I will not specify which country exactly. Um, I live in a Central Asian country, and about 2 years ago in 2023, the government of my country released a new law which was copied from the Russian law, which the law is banning so-called the propaganda of non-traditional relationships among minors, people under 18. If you're wondering what non-traditional relationship looks like, it's actually a Russian term. Non-traditional relationship means same-sex relationship. So the only form of traditional and acceptable relationship is between a woman and a man, on heterosexual relationship, and everything else is transgression. It's not normal. It's terrible. So the propaganda of homosexuality should be banned. And by banning it among minors, the government basically banned it among the entire population. I mean, the country has always been extremely homophobic, but now the media can't even mention anything about LGBTQ stuff, about violence against LGBTQ community. If you are gay, for example, and experience violence, although the constitution of the country, it basically guarantees that you can get help from the judicial system, that you can get help from police, you basically cannot. If you go to police and say I've been brutalized for being gay, the police most likely will imprison you, torture you, and then blackmail you. If you go to the police, they'll beat you, and then they'll say that if you don't bring them a sum of money, they'll tell your parents, your colleagues that you're gay, and that basically means being ostracized from this society. Well, if people around you learn that you are gay, you basically, you get ostracized. Your family will most likely disown you, and you will most likely lose your job. You become jobless, very possibly homeless, and the law will not protect you at all. So I don't want to exaggerate, but being queer in the country, it's almost like being a Jew in the Nazi Germany. I don't want to exaggerate, but it's almost like that. I mean, the biggest difference is that you can hide your queerness, but if someone discovers you are queer, then you're basically screwed. Your whole life is screwed. Your only possible way to restore your life is to escape to another country. So this law, which is the ban of propaganda of LGBTQ stuff, it basically made homosexuality illegal again. It is de facto, homosexuality is not illegal, has not been illegal since 1998, when the old Soviet law was overthrown. For people who think the Soviet Union was some leftist utopia, Soviet Union was an absolutely disgusting country, where homosexuality was criminal and where gay people were often being sent to mental institutions or gulags, and the same stuff returned to my country again. Now it's in the law. Now it's not just that the people and the government are homophobic. Now it's the official law. Now the queer people are officially banned from existence. Maybe not officially, but de facto, right, are banned from existence. The whole group of people to which I belong to, since I realized I was bisexual. So me and people like me are basically not just second-class citizens, all right? We basically should not exist, and we should be in jail or even executed. The religious figures in the country already called for the extermination of gay people, but the country is not theocracy yet, so the religious figures do not hold much power. But a lot of people listen to religious figures, and religious figures have enormous, influence over the population, which is growing exceedingly more and more religious. The religion is Islam, if you're wondering. So the situation is pretty bad. So and you know, this law is it's intentionally vague, it's intentionally unclear and obscure. This is what authoritarian regimes usually do. They make laws as obscure as possible with no clear definition, because nobody knows how propaganda of LGBTQ even looks like. Oh, nobody knows how it looks like. If I, for example, grab my badge with Charlie, Morningstar, and Veggie, does it qualify as propaganda of LGBTQ? Because these are two lesbian or two queer characters. Charlie's bi, but okay. Does it qualify as propaganda? Well, it's hard to say. The law is vague, so potentially anyone can get imprisoned and jailed. Anything can qualify as propaganda. The propaganda is such a vague and unclear term that anyone can fall under the canopy of propaganda. I don't know, in Russia, for example, even criticizing gays, LGBT community falls under propaganda. And I know a Russian speaker who actually got, warned by the police. He was just criticizing, saying homophobic things, but the police thought it fell under propaganda of LGBTQ canopy. So that crazy. So, as I already said, all this is intentionally vague, so that the government potentially could imprison anybody. So right now, basically, the government has, has a law that allows the police forces to imprison anyone who has any remote relationship to LGBT, even if you're not gay at all, if you just have some kind of cartoon or anime badge at all, you can get imprisoned potentially. And this is the reality, this is the situation, and this is why living, it kind of became dangerous. I don't go with rainbow flag and stuff, because even if there wasn't this homophobic law, the population is still queerphobic as hell, and I would have been beaten probably by the locals. But I don't do that, but I have lots of badges on my backpack with queer characters from cartoons like Has Been Hotel, for example. And I don't know, the only thing that keeps me safe is that the police doesn't give a damn about what Has Been Hotel even is, so they don't know what this thing is. They probably think these characters are some kind of animal, and I don't know. So yeah, luckily the police forces are stupid as fuck. So yeah, just wanted to share this, I don't know, because this thing really, really, really bothers me. And the only way, I'm afraid, is to leave the country altogether, which I am leaving soon enough. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for listening to this rant, I don't know how to call it, and see you next time, hopefully. Bye.